Welcome to TGI Today, Kauai Island's only live newscast powered by AI. TGI Today focuses on local and relevant news content you can only get from the Garden Island. I'm James, and with me is Rose. Join us as we bring you the in-depth stories behind the headlines right here on TGI Today. On today's show, we'll be diving into interactive education, crowning the new Miss Kauai Filipina, and discussing the pollution levels of Nawilawili Stream in September. Before we start, a big mahalo to Long's Drugs for sponsoring today's newscast. Visit your local Long's Drugs for your everyday needs and continue to make Long's part of your day. Today, we're diving into the world of interactive education, where nearly 800 fifth grade students made a splash at the Vidina Stadium soccer fields during the Project WET Make a Splash event. Rose, it's incredible to see the largest group of students at this event since it started 19 years ago. Can you tell us more about the significance of this turnout?
James, the Department of Water, noted that the 787 students represent the largest group they've had, including students from all public schools on the island. Unfortunately, no response from charter schools or homeschools.
The Make a Splash event seems to be a unique experience for Kauai. How has the Department of Water managed to keep this going for so long?
The DOW has been the sole presenter of the Make a Splash event on the island since its inception. Despite the challenges, they've been the only ones in the state to host this educational initiative.
Let's now focus on the interactive stations at the event. With 10 stations this year, what are some key takeaways for the students?
James, one of the new stations this year, focused on water reclamation, emphasizing the importance of sustainable practices. The students had hands-on experience comparing different water samples, making the learning process engaging and informative.
As we wrap up, the success of this program is undoubtedly due to the collaborative efforts of partners like Aqua Engineers, Department of Health, and other organizations. Rose, any final thoughts on the impact of community involvement in such educational initiatives?
Absolutely, James. The collaboration and volunteerism from community partners and water industry leaders have been instrumental in the success of the Make a Splash program, making it a truly enriching experience for the students.
Thank you, Rose, for sharing your insights on this incredible initiative. Coming up next, we'll talk about the new Miss Kauai Filipina, Yano. Stay tuned. Now, we're talking about the crowning of the new Miss Kauai Filipina. Let's dive in. Rose, tell us about Alia Yano being crowned as the new Miss Kauai Filipina 2024.
Alia Yano, who was the pageant's first princess, was coronated as the new Miss Kauai Filipina 2024 at the 58th Turno Ball at Royal Sonesta Kauai Resort. Jaislyn Valdez flew home from Arizona to perform the coronation with Mario Trinidad and She Weaver of the Miss Kauai Filipina Scholarship Pageant.
What was the reason behind Yano's coronation as the new Miss Kauai Filipina?
Yano earned the crown after Valdez became the 2024 Miss Hawaii Filipina, leaving a vacancy filled by the first princess, according to pageant bylaws.
Let's move on to the impact of Valdez's win. What does this mean for the Miss Kauai Filipina pageant?
Valdez's win marks the third Kauai representative to earn the Miss Hawaii Filipina crown recently, following Isa Gampon in 2019 and Sarika Castisimo in 2022. The 58th Turno Ball was a successful scholarship fundraiser thanks to the Kauai Filipino Women's Club and community sponsors.
Exciting news from the Miss Kauai Filipina pageant. Stay tuned for more updates. Coming up next, we'll be diving into the environmental impact of pollution as we discuss the latest report on Nawilawili Stream being the most polluted in September. And now for the pollution levels in streams and surf spots around Kauai. Nawilawili Stream being the most polluted in September. Rose, can you tell us more about this concerning finding?
Volunteers found high concentrations of Enterococcus bacterium at more than a dozen locations, with Nawilawili Stream standing out as the worst.
The samples collected on September 14 showed the severity of the situation. What were the findings at other locations?
The study revealed a mix of acceptable and subpar readings at various surf sites and streams across Kauai. Some areas showed concerning levels of contamination.
And what do the year-to-date results indicate about the overall situation?
The year-to-date GeoMean shows that several sites tested above the mean bacteria concentration mark, highlighting the ongoing pollution challenges faced by the island.
This issue of water pollution in Kauai is a serious concern that requires immediate attention. Let's hope for better water quality in the future. That wraps up today's edition of TGI Today, the local and relevant news content you can only get from the Garden Island. Thanks for tuning in. For complete local news coverage, visit the Garden Island website, your go-to spot for staying up to date. See you next time.